What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video today, I will be sharing with you step by step how you can apply for your student visa from anywhere in the world. The application process is a really simple one and you really don't need to be giving any immigration consultant a bunch of money to get this done. So I'll show you the step by step process of how you can do this all by yourself, right? So with that said, let's get started. Oh, and wait, one more thing. The process is totally online. You don't have to be mailing anything to the embassy, right? So with that said, let's get started. Alright, so to get started guys, you want to go to this website here, ircc.canada.ca/visitor/en/get-account IRCC portal. Don't worry about these long names or try to remember them. I'll leave them in the description of this video. So the first step is to get an invite code. So you're going to specify your email address, confirm your email address, and then select get invite code. This is very important. So you want to copy this code or write it down somewhere and then select continue to IRCC portal sign up page. Here, specify your invite code, the email address which you use, a password, confirm your password, specify your last name as well as your first name, right? Then scroll down. Select the telephone number of the country or territory, right? So I'm going to select other and then you want to specify your dial code. In the case of Jamaica, you want to say 876, right? And then for the phone number, you're going to put the 876 along with your phone number. So once you put this correctly, then the error will go away. Note if you just put the 876 only, right? And if you select sign up, you'll get an invalid phone number. So you have to ensure that you use 1876. Then select sign up. The next step is to enter the verification code. A verification code has been sent to your email. So I'm going to open my email address now. So from your email, you want to grab this code. Let's head back to the portal and enter the verification code. Once you do that, select confirm. If you did not get the email, then you select request another code. Now we're just going to scroll down and select sign in. So ensure that you enter the same email address and your password. Make sure you write down your password so you don't have to keep on forgetting it, right? So we're going to select sign in here. Read the terms and conditions. I don't have time for that, so I'm going to accept. Scroll down. On this page, you're going to select apply for a visitor's visa, transit visa or study permit. So select this link. Get ready to apply to visit or study in Canada. Make sure you are eligible before you apply. The rules may have changed since the last time you applied, so it's best to check before you start your application. So you can always do the check if you wish. However, you need to have these two items ready: a valid passport and a credit card, right? So now we're going to scroll down and select I acknowledge and select start application. Now towards the end of the application, right? If you need additional documents, it will tell you based on your selection throughout the application process. So if at the end when you see the documents list generated for me is a little bit different for you, it will be dependent on the information that you have placed in the application. So it's nothing to worry or panic about, right? So are you applying for more than one person? Here I'm going to select no. If you're applying for multiple person, then select yes, right? Then select save and continue. We're applying for a study permit, so here you're going to select study permit. Now, what exactly do you want to apply for? Do you want to study? Do you want a study permit to study for less than 6 months? A study permit for more than 6 months? A visitor's visa to study without a study permit for less than 6 months? So in most cases, you'll want to study for more than 6 months. So again, select the option which best applies to you. So I'm going to go with this option. Tell us more about what you'll be doing in Canada, right? So here you can say you are studying for a bachelor's degree in accounting and then you're going to specify the start and end date, right? So for now, I'm just going to say BSc and accounting. So you can ensure you specify all the information that you want to specify here. Now, when will you enter Canada, right? Select the here. I'm going to say 2024. Select the month, January. Select the date. I'm going to say first. So you can time this based on when you will be starting your semester, because I'm assuming that you already have an acceptance letter, so you'll know exactly when your school starts. So you can specify your entry date based on this. When will you leave Canada? Estimate the end of your studies. So I'm going to say 2025 month, January, date the 1st. I'm just putting in this information to keep things simple. Now if you have a UCI identifier, then you can specify here. Now you'll have this number when you have applied for a visa or work permit before, and then you'll get a UCI number, right? So here select save and continue. Now here's a list of documents that you'll actually need to complete the application for your student visa: a valid passport or travel document, an acceptance letter from a designated learning institution. Now you need to have proof that you have enough money to pay for your tuition, your living expenses, return transportation for yourself and family members who come with you to Canada. So like I've mentioned before, you may need additional documents depending on what you have selected when you are filling out the application. So select continue to application. Are you applying on behalf of someone else? Select what best applies to you, in my case no, and then save and continue. Specify your surname. I'm going to say Brown. This is a makeup name. Specify your first name. I'm going to specify another made up name. I'm going to say James. Specify your date of birth. I'm going to say 2000 month, January, day the 1st, right? Select your gender and then select save and continue. What document are you traveling with? I'm going to say passport, regular. Set the country code that matches your passport. I'm going to say Jamaica. Select your nationality of your passport. I'm going to say Jamaica. Here, specify your passport number. I'm going to put in a random number, right? Confirm your passport or travel document number. So I'm going to say A234567. Then select the date your passport was issued. I'm going to select the 1st, January, and I'm going to say 2023, right? Now scroll down and specify your date of expiry. I'm going to select the 1st, January, and let's say 2030. This information will not be validated, so I am not really too worried much about this, but ensure when you're filling out the application, ensure that you specify the accurate information, because this is just a demonstration, right? So here, are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid green card? No. Have you held a Canadian visitor's visa in the last 10 years? Select what best applies to you. So I'm going to select no. Do you currently hold a US non-immigrant visa? Select what best applies to you. Are you traveling to Canada by air? Yes, and then select save and continue. For citizenship and place where the applicant lives, select your country. So I'm going to say Jamaica. City or town where you're born. Are you a citizen of more than one country or territory? I'm going to select no. Select what best applies to you. Which country or territory are you a citizen of? I'm going to say Jamaica. So here I'm going to check this option. I am a citizen of this country since birth, right? So I'm going to select save and continue. Do you have a valid national identity document? So I'm going to say no. If you do select yes, then at the end of the application, it's going to ask you to upload that information, right? That document. So here I'm going to select save and continue. Have you used any other name in the past? I'm going to select no and then select save and continue. Countries of territory or residence. This is the address where you currently live. So I'm going to say Jamaica again. Ensure you specify the correct information. I'm going to just say 123 ABC, right? Specify your town. I'm just going to say ABC. And specify your postal code, which is optional. I'm going to say 00, right? In a case where you don't know your postal code or they don't really use it, then you can specify 50 or just leave it blank, right? Is your mailing address same as your residential address? I'm going to select yes. List your current country of residence, then add all other countries where you have lived for the past 5 years for more than 6 months. So I'm going to select add and specify my current country, right? So it's still Jamaica. So what is the status in your country? I'm going to say citizen, and then you're going to select basically from birth. So I believe I select 2000 from January, and then I selected the 1st. Remember, ensure you specify the correct information. So I'm going to select yes, this is where I currently live, and then select save. Now this information feels a little bit redundant, but hey, we still have to provide it. So I'm going to select save and continue. Do you already have your fingerprints and photo? Are they still valid? If you have done your biometrics for the past 10 years for a visitor's visa, study or work permit application, and it is still valid, then you can select yes. However, select no. Then select save and continue. Now here you're going to specify detailed information about your study in Canada, right? Type of study permit. Here you can select I have a letter of acceptance from a designated learning institution. So I'm going to select this option. Then from the drop down, select the following which applies to you. So none of the above applies to me. Select your level of study. What are you going to study? Let's say I'm going to select a college certificate, right? Here you need to specify your DLI number, right? So here it gives you an example 0123 456 yada yada yada. So this will be on your acceptance letter. Specify your name of school. I'm just gonna say ABC, right? Again, specify the correct information. I'm just taking you through the steps. Set the country of school. By default, Canada is selected. Here you need to specify the address for your school, so you can start typing the name of the address. So let me see, I'm gonna say 13 and it brings up an address, so I'm just gonna use this random address, right? Or you have the option to input the address manually. So I'm going to scroll down. Here select your field of study. Now I know I said accounting earlier, but so I'm just going to say computer and IT here, because again it's just a test application, right? So here your acceptance letter may contain your student identification number, so if you have that number you can specify it here. However, it's optional, so let's scroll down. How long will you be studying in Canada? Select your start date. I'm going to say 2024. I'm going to say January, and I'm going to say the 1st. So here you're going to use the start date and the end date of your study, which is on your acceptance letter. All that information is on the acceptance letter. So select your here. I'm going to say 2025, right? And I'm going to say January, and I'm going to say the 1st. Now select save and continue. Specify your tuition in dollar amount. I'm just gonna say $10,000. Room and boarding in Canadian dollars. This is the total amount for food and lodging for the duration of the program. So specify the number that applies to you. So you're going to estimate the cost of food and your rent. So for example, rent is $1,000, then it's gonna be 12,000, then food is another, say, 5,000, then you're gonna say $17,000. So let's change the 10 to $17,000. Funds available to stay in Canada. Ensure that you have sufficient funds that you can use to cover the above expenses. So let's say I'm going to put 40,000 Canadian dollars, right? Who will pay for your expenses in Canada? Myself or parents? Are you receiving financial support for your studies? Depending on your situation again. So I'm going to select no. Then select save and continue. Do you want to apply for a work permit to participate in co-op program? If the program you're applying for does offer co-op, I would recommend that you do select yes, right? So I'm going to select no for now, and then select save and continue. So if you do apply for the work permit here, you don't have to go and apply for it when that time comes around. So I'm going to select save and continue. Now scroll down. Have you ever studied at a post-secondary school, university, college, or vocational school? Now you don't have to complete the degree. So I'm going to select yes, and then select add here to add the details. So for the school name, ensure you specify the school that you have attended, right? For the start date, I'm just going to say 2018. For the month January, and I'm going to say it ended 2022, right? And select month as January. Level of study, I'm going to say university bachelor's degree. Field of study, I'm going to say computing and IT. Then here you're going to select the country which you did the studies. I'm going to say Jamaica. Specify your street. As you know, my street is going to be ABC 123. Select your town, ABCD, right? Then select save. Guys, remember to put the correct information. Now for your work activities and history, do you serve in any military, militia, civil defense unit, etc. Right? I'm going to select no. Give details of all your employment activities since you were 18. Now if you have never worked and only a student, you still need to add this information. So here you're going to select had. So if it was only school that you attended, then you're going to select say 2018, then select January, select the year it ended, right? Which was, what year did I use again? 2022, and then select January, right? Now for the work activity, select unemployed, right? For your territory, select your country, right? Select your address, ABCD 1 2 3 4. Now select your city. I'm going to say ABC. Now scroll down and select save. If you do not fill in this information, you cannot save and continue, right? So now I'm going to select save and continue. Now for our travel history, during the past 5 years, have you traveled to another country other than where you're a citizen? So I'm going to select no, select save and continue. Have you ever stayed in Canada beyond the validity of your status? I'm going to select no. Have you ever been refused a visa or work permit, denied entry to or ordered to leave the country? Here I'm going to select no and select save and continue. Criminality and security. Have you ever committed any crime? No. Have you ever been arrested? No. Have you ever been charged for any criminal offense? No. Have you ever been convicted for any criminal offense in any other country? I'm going to select no, right? Select save and continue. I'm going to select no for these as well and select save and continue. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel physician within the last 12 months? In my case, no. Do you want to work in any of the following jobs? Select what best applies to you, then select save and continue. So in the last 2 years, were you diagnosed with tuberculosis? I'm going to select no. In the last 5 years, have you been in close contact with a person with tuberculosis? I'm going to select no and then save and continue. For these, I'm going to select no as well and then save and continue. However, make sure you read them. Select your marital status. I'm going to select single and save and continue. Do you have any biological or adopted as stepchildren? Select what best applies. I'm going to select I understand that I am not declaring any natural, adopted as stepchildren, and then save and continue. If you're adopted, provide details about your legal parents. So here for simplicity, I am going to select I don't know my parents. However, add your parents information. So I'm going to select I don't know my parents for simplicity, right? So select save and continue. What is your native language? I'm going to scroll down and select English. Can you communicate in English and or French? I'm going to just select English. What language do you want us to use to contact you? I'm going to select English, then select save and continue. Here ensure that you specify your email address and then you confirm your email address, right? So I'm going to select save and continue here. So select add and specify your phone number. So I'm just going to say cellular, select the telephone number. I'm going to say other, right? Specify your dial code and your telephone number and then select save. Then select save and continue. Now here, take some brief time and review your information and ensure everything is accurate. If you need to edit anything, then you simply select the edit button and it will take you to that page to make the necessary change. Here I'm just going to select save and continue. Now here again, the list of documents you'll need depends on what you applied for and how you answered your questions, right? You need to upload all the documents. Note, the size limit is 2 MB per file, so your file should not be more than 2 MB. If it is more than 2 MB, then you'd have to search for an online file shrinker and then shrink that file and then upload it. So let's scroll down to the list of supporting documents. So here you need to upload your acceptance letter. Here for immigration status, from the drop down, if you click this little icon here, for the immigration status you have noted in your application form, provide a copy of the immigration document that shows the status. For instance, if you have indicated that you are a permanent resident, then upload a copy of the document that shows that you are a permanent resident. So in this case, you'll upload your birth certificate because this shows that you are a permanent resident of a given country. Here, upload your passport, ensure it is valid, right? And ensure that you have at least one page in it. Now for the proof of funds, if you have multiple bank statements, you want to attach them in one PDF document and then you upload them here. Right? Now other optional document, let's say you have an explanation letter, then you can upload that letter of explanation here. So basically any other document that you have that you want to use to support your application, then you can upload that file here. Now you have to upload all of this before you can select save and continue. So I'm just gonna put some random files here. So I've uploaded some random documents. These are the required ones. However, I can proceed with the optional documents. So select save and continue. Now I'm just going to select yes, I do consent to be contacted by CIC, right? Specify your last name. So it was James Brown, right? So the last name is Brown and the given name is James, right? Now I'm going to scroll down and then select save and continue. So here your total fee will be $235. So now you've just saved yourself a bunch of consultation fees just by doing the application yourself, right? So once you select save and continue, it will take you to the page that you need to make the payment. So once you've paid for your application, the next step is to look out for an email that say, hey, you need to submit your biometrics information at the embassy, right? So you're going to go on VSS Global. Let me Google that right now. VSS, yeah, no, it's not VSS, VFS Global, right? And then I'm going to select this first link here. So this is where you'll set your appointment, right? So if you scroll down and some more on the web page, you'll see it says book an appointment. So you're going to select book an appointment. Now these are the various options that you can use to book an appointment. So you could say you're going to use the web chat, select the web chat option, right? And then, so on the book an appointment page, you can select the option that you want to use to book the appointment. You can read through all this information, it will be good to do. However, I'm just going to select the web chat option for now, right? And then select chat now. Select English or whatever language you use. Over the operations hours is between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. right? So I'll have to come back at another time, right? So you can do that, or let me leave. You can either call them, or let's see the online option and then click here to schedule an appointment. So basically here you want to search for VSS Global within your country because it will be a little bit different for the countries, right? Let's say you are in Jamaica, right? So you're gonna say VFS Global Jamaica, right? Now let's select that, and then if you notice in the URL here it says jam/en/can. If you say, let's say Bahamas, then within the URL it will say Bahamas. So make sure you do that option, right? So you can always call them to schedule an appointment once you receive that biometrics email. So good luck with your study permit and see you in the next video.